Hey VC, it is Will again, and I am back as promised with another new episode of Pop Punk Update. And I'm gonna keep showing you a few more punk records that I picked up in the last few weeks, so let's go ahead and check it out. And to start off, this is Waxahatchee with Cerulean Salt. And this one came out back in 2012 on Don Giovanni Records. And Waxahatchee, of course, is Katie Crutchfield, and I guess she goes by Waxahatchee when she plays with her band. And they came over to Atlanta just a few weeks ago. They played in a small venue, so I was able to get my record signed by Katie Crutchfield, and I got to meet her. She's a very nice person, and her band puts a great show, so if you get a chance to see them, I highly recommend that you go and check them out. But anyways, you might remember that her last album called Ivy Trip actually made it to my top 10 albums of 2015 last year. And I'm a fairly new Waxahatchee fan, so I started checking out some of her older material, and of course I had to buy this one, and I must say that I think I like this album a little bit better than the one that came out last year. Lots of great songs in here. You can tell that a lot of the lyrics mean a lot to her because she sings with so much emotion, and also very catchy. She has a terrific voice, and the guitars are also very good here, so I highly recommend that you pick up Cerulean Salt. Let's go ahead and check out a short clip from this album. This one's called Peace and Quiet.
You grow as big as the ocean, soothing when I'm destroyed, but you can run, you can hide, you're a giant. You defend all the damage you cause.
So that was Waxahatchee with a short clip from Peace and Quiet from Cerulean Salt. And I actually forgot to show you what came in the record itself. This is an early repress that came out just a few years ago, and it came with this little insert with a picture of Katie Crutchfield in one side and the lyrics in the other. And the record itself came in on standard black vinyl with the custom labels. And the guys at Don Giovanni did a great job in this record. It sounds really good, and the packaging was also very good. Okay, next, I also picked up, this is a record store pickup. I was surprised to find this one because I was trying to find this record when it came out last year, but for some reason I never was able to find it. They either didn't have it in the record store, or when I went online, the first press already sold out. So I was happy to find this one in the used bin, in the new arrivals. This is a Dog Party with Volume 4. And this one came out last year in 2015 on Asian Man Records. Really fun pop punk album. Very heavily influenced into like the bands like the Ramones. 3 power chord pop punk songs. The lyrics are super fun, and the vocals also very good, and the drums are excellent. Very simple kind of songs, but super fun to listen to. I was very happy to find this one, especially as a first press. And this one also came with a little insert with some lyrics of the songs. And the vinyl itself, like I said, this is the first press. Came on transparent blue vinyl with custom labels. So yeah, if you're into pop punk, make sure that you give a listen to Dog Party because they are super fun to listen to. Let's actually go ahead and check out a short clip from one of their songs. This one's called Peanut Butter Dream.
Walk around with you on a side sound, looking through the mirrors and the broken glass. Cannot see like I had to before, but now life hasn't been so clear. Cannot get the words out.
Alright, so up next I also picked up a new album by a local band from here in Atlanta. This is the Coat Hangers with Nosebleed Weekend. And this one came out just a few weeks ago in 2016 on Suicide Squeeze Records. And this was almost a blind buy for me because I have listened to a few of their songs. They didn't really catch that much my attention before. This is actually the 5th studio album by the band, so they've been around for a few years. But they had a really cool packaging and showing in Criminal Records in my local record store, and I decided to give it a try and buy it. And I will say I do like it. There's a few songs that are a little bit better than the other ones, but it might be a little bit too early for me to give a review, so I might have to do a different review in a different video once I listen to it a few more times. But anyways, the packaging in this record is awesome. It came in on the really cool gatefold with the lyrics. And the guys at Criminal Records, I think they only did it there because they included this really cool print from Record Store Day, where the coat hangers played in Criminal Records on Record Store Day, with artwork by R. Land, which is fairly famous local artist from here in Atlanta. If you ever come to Atlanta and if you go to areas like Little Five Points, you will see his artwork in a lot of small businesses and record stores, and his style of art is really unique and really cool to watch. So check it out. And it was really nice to have this included. This was limited to 150 copies. I got copy number 59 of this print, and it was also signed by the band. So yeah, really cool little print or a poster for Record Store Day 2016 with the coat hangers. And the record itself came in on color vinyl. Very trippy kind of color vinyl. Green, white, marbled, whatever you call it, but it looks great and it sounds really good too. And like I said about the music, I think it might be a little bit too early for me to make a decision on a review of this album, but they definitely have a very unique style of punk rock. And some of there's even one song that they actually use like a squeaky toy for like a dog. They use it as an instrument in one of those songs, and I've seen some reviews. There's some reviews that people love it, some people hate it. I kind of liked it. It's different, but it's really up to you if you like this band or not. You might have to give them a listen first. Let's actually go ahead and check out a short clip from the Coat Hangers. Alright, so that was the Coat Hangers with Down Down, a local band from here in Atlanta, so check them out. Alright, up next I also picked up, I was at the record store at Criminal Records a few weeks ago, and they were having a record sale. Some records were 25% off, some of them were 50% off, and I found this one. This is Superchunk with On the Mouth, and this one came out back in 1992 originally on Matador Records. This is a repress that came out a few years ago on Merge Records, the Superchunk record label. And I was glad to find this one because I didn't have it, and I'm a big Superchunk fan. And it also came in with a nice little insert with a cool picture of a cactus, and in the back some information about the record itself, or how they recorded it, and some information and some write-up of the band members. So a really cool inner insert, and the record itself from the reissue came in on standard black vinyl with very plain looking labels. Anyways, the guys at Merch, they do a great job with the represses. This is a heavy record, and it sounds great. They did a great job in this reissue. And this is the third, I believe the second or the third studio album by Superchunk, and I'm trying to collect the records on vinyl. I just have 3 or 4, I think. So this is a great addition to my collection. It is one of my favorite Superchunk albums. I believe Foolish is still the #1 for me, but it's still very good. It's classic Superchunk style of music, very catchy pop punk. So check him out, Superchunk with On the Mouth. Let's actually go ahead and check out a short clip from a song from here. This one's called Precision Auto. Alright, and last but not least, I also picked up another record from a record store. I found this one in the new used releases. This is the Muffs with Whoop-De-Doo. And this one came out in 2014 on Burger Records. And you might say, hey Will, I thought you were a huge fan of the Muffs and you didn't pick up this copy of Whoop-De-Doo when it came out. Of course I picked it up. I bought it the day it came out. I'm a huge fan of the Muffs. They're one of my favorite bands of all time. And at this point they haven't released an album in the last 10 years, so it was very highly anticipated for me. So I bought it the day it came out in the record store. The thing is that my record on vinyl came on black vinyl. There were some limited copies that were released on color vinyl, but I never was able to grab one back then because for some reason they either sold out, or when I tried to go online they didn't have it anymore. So when I saw this one at the record store in the new used arrivals, I saw that it was in color vinyl, so I picked it up, of course. And this one came in with a really cool insert, some photos from Kim Shattuck, and in the back, awesome picture of the band just rocking out and kicking ass. I love this picture. Actually, the insert that I got from my original copy, I got it framed right there in my music room. I just love that picture. This is the Muffs doing what they do the best, just rocking out in a live show. And of course, like I said, the vinyl came on red vinyl with the custom labels. It sounds great. And yeah, about the music, it's very similar to what the Muffs released before. Their style hasn't really changed that much. Kim Shattuck has a very unique voice, which is compared a little bit to Courtney Love. She has in some of the songs she growls and she screams like a crazy person, which ends up sounding really, really good. And their songs are really catchy as well. So if you like pop punk or punk rock in general, you'll like the Muffs. Let's actually go ahead and check out a short clip from Whoop-De-Doo. This one's called Paint by the Numbers. So yeah, that was the Muffs with a short clip from Paint by the Numbers from Whoop-De-Doo. Really great album that actually made it to my top 5 albums of 2014 when it came out. But anyways, that's all I have for you today. I've shown you quite a bit of pop punk records. I still have a few more to show you, but I'm gonna save those for the next few videos. Stay tuned for those. But anyway, thanks for watching and take care, VC. Bye bye.